We're going to continue our discussion of fetal heart analysis with a consideration of the great arteries. Now, it's very important that you have already viewed the images of and the lecture on the four-chamber view of the heart. That is really a prelude to this lecture. So you're familiar, I'm sure, with the terms left ventricular outflow tract view and right ventricular outflow tract view. The left ventricular outflow tract view is sometimes called the long axis view. But what plane of section is the left ventricular outflow tract view? Is it an axial plane? Is it a sagittal plane? Is it a coronal plane? And do these names help you to know what plane of section you actually need to obtain? When the answer to that question is no, unfortunately, that begets the twist your hand around until the picture looks like it does in the book approach. Again, I want to assure you, if that is your planned approach, you will fail. You simply cannot do it with that approach. The left ventricular outflow tract is actually the path that blood takes as it is propelled out of the left ventricle. As it flows toward the aortic valve, it passes between the anterior leaflet of the mitral valve and the interventricular septum as it approaches the base of the aortic valve. Note that on the left side of the heart, the inflow direction is exactly the opposite of the outflow direction. So inflow direction across the mitral valve to the apex goes in the opposite direction as the flow of blood toward the base of the aortic valve. Now, in order to get lined up along the left ventricular outflow tract requires that we get the sort of inclined and angled up view of the heart. Now, if we have a child who is supine lying on a table, it's possible to learn in a relatively short period of time how to change the angle of the transducer to produce this inclined, angled up view. But this is not so easy in the fetus that can assume multiple variations in position. The right ventricular outflow tract is sometimes called the short axis view. Do these names impart any knowledge as to the plane of section in which you need to orient the transducer? And the answer to that is an emphatic no. And thus again, this begets the twist your hand around approach until it looks like it does in the book.